Hello, so welcome back to my channel. This is your girl AE. If you're new here, you are welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for always taking to this channel. In today's video, I'm going to do beginner friendly eyeshadow tutorial or eye makeup. This eye makeup is going to be very detailed and also beginner friendly. So if you are someone or if you are a novice and you don't know anything about eyeshadow application, then this video is the right video for you. So stay to the end and please like this video, comment, subscribe, and also put on your notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. So without much ado, let's dive into the video. Before we start, I have to show you the part of the eyelid because these are the names that I'm going to use to teach you the eye makeup. So you have to know the parts before we move on to the next stage. When it comes to the eye, we have some parts that we call the brow bone. So the brow bone is underneath the brow, okay? This region, this particular region here is what we call the brow bone or the highlights. When you move beneath the brow bone, around this area, this region around here, it's called the crease region. Okay. After the crease, you move on to your eyelid. So when you open your eyes, just from the crease to the lashes here is what we call the lid. After we move from your lid, you can see this curve around this from the crease to the end of your eye here, just the curve here. You can see the curve to the eye where the eye end is called the outer V. So when we move from the outer V, where your lashes started, beneath your lid, okay, that is your upper lash line. When we come down, have the lower lash line, especially where we normally smoke out. That is what we call the lower lash line. But on top of your lashes, this line around this area is called the waterline. When you come to the inner, it's called the tear duct. So you will be hearing me mentioning some of the names, and when I mention the names, you know where particularly I'm talking about. That is why I have to show you the parts before we can move on to the next stage. So coming to the eyeshadow, we have the shimmer eyeshadow and we also have the matte eyeshadow. The shimmer eyeshadow, they contains the glitters. Okay, I have to show you samples of the shimmer eyeshadow. So you can see me holding this eyeshadow palette here. So we have the matte and the shimmer. So I'm going to show you the shimmery eyeshadow. This particular one here, I'm going to swatch it so that you can see. This is a shimmer. Can you see that? It gives you some kind of highlight effect. This is what we call the shimmer eyeshadow right here. The matte eyeshadow, they are the powder ones that have the color. So example is like this eyeshadow right here. You can see. Let me use a deeper color. Okay, let's use this dark. This doesn't have any lighting effect. Okay, so it's just a powder eyeshadow. Okay, so this is what we call the matte, and this one is the shimmer eyeshadow. I hope you are getting it right. So after knowing the shimmer and the matte eyeshadow, then you are ready to move to the next stage. We have something we call the transition colors before the nude colors. The transition colors, they are the neutral colors. So what I mean by transition colors, they are the colors that helps to emerge eyeshadow or giving it a glamorous effect. That is what I can probably say about transition colors. So they normally have cool undertones. So after knowing the transition colors, when it comes to the transition colors, I have to show you what the transition colors are. Let me use this eyeshadow. Some of the transition colors are the peach colors, the gray, and we have a lot. We have a lot. So something like this. Excuse me. Okay, this one is really well. So something like this color here. It's a neutral color, right? This is a neutral color around here. We also have a neutral color here. We have a neutral color. So they are, especially the browns and oranges, they are very neutral. So when you use it to blend in your eyeshadows, they give you a smooth effect. So that is what probably we mean by the transition colors. Excuse me. These animals have disturbing me, so please don't mind the animals around, okay? So these are what we mean the transition colors. They are the neutral colors that we use before the main colors. Giving you a tip over here, using nude eyeshadows helps to blend in your eyeshadow well and also make it very clean. So that is one advantage about the nude or the neutral color. When it comes to eyeshadow application, there are some certain things that you need as a beginner to start apply your eyeshadow. The first thing that you need is your eyeshadow primer. We have an eyeshadow primer or eyeshadow base. So this is a type of eyeshadow primer or base look like. We have different types of eyeshadow base, but if you don't have an eyeshadow base, you can use your concealer. The reason why we use eyeshadow base is to help your color pop well. If you don't use eyeshadow base for your eyeshadow, you don't have that color that you're looking for. So the reason why we use eyeshadow base is to help your colors pop well. So if you can get the eyeshadow base, you can use your concealer as your eyeshadow base. And you need your eyeshadow palette. For beginners, for me, if you are a beginner, I would advise you to get an eyeshadow palette that look like this, to start trying your hands on them. If you know how to blend in your neutral colors, then you can move on to the next stage. For a beginner, these are the eyeshadows that you're supposed to use. But if you don't have an eyeshadow, you can start with your powder palette. Yes, this is the easiest one. You can start with this, and this also have some neutral tones that you can start with. Is beginner friendly. When it comes to eyeshadow application, if you are not a type of blending, guys, eyeshadow application is not for you. You have to be someone who like blending, because when you blend in your eyeshadow well, they come out well. So if you are a type of person that you don't blend, then this game is not for you. So when it comes to eyeshadow application, we have some brushes that you have to use. The fluffy round brushes. These are the brushes that helps in blending in your eyeshadow. You can see that they have a round shape and very fluffy. This helps in blending in your eyeshadow very well. It doesn't mean you should have this type of brushes, but we have different brands of brushes, but your brushes should be round and fluffy to help you blend in your eyeshadow very well. You also need this flat brush but fluffy. The reason why I said you need this flat fluffy brush is it helps in applying your eyeshadow on top of your lid, especially when you are doing a matte eyeshadow look. That is where it comes in. When it comes to the shimmer color application, I would advise to use a flat brush. This flat brush pick the excess and you apply the shimmer color on your lid. So that is why you need a flat brush for. Beside that, you are okay to go with your brushes. You need your eyeliner, but for beginner, for me, if you can't apply your eyeliner, I would advise to stay away from it, because After finish applying your eyeshadow, it can mess up your eyeshadow. So if you don't know how to apply it, stay away from it. For beginners too, our advice when you are getting eyeliner, get the pen ones. The pen ones are very precise when you are doing your lining. It is very precise. Your hand doesn't shake when you are applying it. So pen liners are very good for the beginners. Don't go for a pomade liner, because if you don't know how to apply it, you are going to mess it up. So get the pen liner. When you finish your eyeshadow, you need to volume your lashes. You need your mascara for that. Okay, you need your mascara to volume up your lashes. Now that I finished talking about the theory side, or knowing what and what you need, knowing the basic, or having the clear knowledge about eyeshadow application, then we can move to the practical. So actually there is light out, but I'm going to use my window light to film this video for you. So now I have my brows on, guys. I have a brow tutorial on this channel, so you can go and check it out. We are going to prep our lid. I'm going to use this concealer from Blossom Cosmetics. So this is how it is, the spotless concealer from Blossom. I'm going to use this type of concealer on my lid. Okay, when blending your concealer, don't use this point to blend your concealer. Okay, use the side of the brush to blend in your concealer. Reason being that when you are blending, you don't have patches, so that is why you have to use the side of the brush to blend in your concealer, because when you use the pointed end, you can have patches and you won't like it. So tap. One thing too is that I have already set my brow bone area, so I don't need concealer around that area. So I'm just going to focus the concealer around my lid and my crease region. That is all. Can you see how I'm using it? I'm just dabbing it. I'm not dragging it. Okay, using the back of the brush or the side of the brush to blend it well. Blend it well. You don't want any creases, so you have to blend. I say that you blend it well. Blend it. So with the help of the concealer, our colors are going to pop well. Okay, so some people normally start with the transition colors before going to the lid color. Okay, but for me, I normally start with my transition colors. So I'm going to use this eyeshadow palette, and this is also a good eyeshadow palette that you can have as a beginner. If you need it, you can have it. It has a varieties of eyeshadows. Okay, so we have neutral colors around these areas, the colorful ones, and so on and so on. So I want to show you something in this palette. Okay, this color here can be used for your transitions. This color here can be used for your transition. This can be used for your transition. The brown ones also can be used for your transition, not the deeper ones. So this is the palette I'm going to use. After blending in my concealer well, I'm going to use this angle fluffy brush. So I'm going to tap in to this orange right here, this orange color, and tap off the excess. I don't want to pack too much. Apply this in my crease region. Can you see this on top here? That is the region I'm going to apply this, and blend it. As I already told you, blending is the key. So can you see where I'm focusing this eyeshadow? In my crease region. So this is my transition color. I'm blending back, front and back. Setting your brow bone area, you can use your powder, your normal powder to set it. So that is what I did around that area, so I don't need my transition color going there. You take your eyeshadow, you take off the excess, then you blend in your transition colors. Can you see how beautifully I blend it? So a tip here, quick tip here. When you want your lid color to pop well, you can deepen your crease region with that color. So I'm using different brush because I wanted to darken the outer V. I'm going to use this black right here, tap it at the outer V here, then making my way through the crease region. Can you see that? You make your way through the crease region. Don't pick the black straight to the crease region. No, we don't want that. So here is it. You swipe it into your crease region. Can you see that? Take the black, you tap off the excess. Make sure you tap it around this area. Then you blend it in to your crease region. Now I'm going in with my transition color, taking off the excess, then blending the edges of the black because I don't want to see any harsh line. To avoid harsh line, I'm blending it out. Can you see this? Very smooth, right? That is why I said when it comes to eyeshadow application, you need to blend and blend and blend well. You go in with your black brush again, the one you used to apply the black, and smoothing your color. Now this is what we are having. This is where, if you want to apply your lid color, I'm going for this gold right here. It's a shimmer color, so this is what I'm using the flat brush for. Remember, we are just doing a basic eyeshadow. Can you see that it has packed enough of the eyeshadow? So this is the shimmer color. I'm going to apply it on my lid. Can you see that? I'm going to stop at where my crease is. Can you see it? Can you see where you are using a flat brush to apply a shimmer color or eyeshadow will do to your look? Yeah. Can you see that? This is very basic. So when you're applying your shimmer tool, you just have to tap in the colors. Don't swipe it, okay? You just have to tap to have that pigment that you are looking for. That is it. Now, to create a smooth transition between this black and the gold here, I'm going to apply our shimmer color right here. It's also a shimmer color, so I'm using the back of this, then tapping it on the first shimmer color that I apply. Can you see that? So this is how it's looking like. Remember, this is a basic eyeshadow tutorials that we are doing, something very simple. So after this, then you go in with your blending brush and blend in your eyeshadow. You blend it well, you blend everything in well. That is it. Then you go ahead and line your lid. So one thing too is that if you want to line your lid or your eye, you can start by drawing a thin line at a tear dot area and draw a thin line, right? For a beginner, I don't think you need a wing line. You can end it at where your lash line ends. That's all. Okay? But for me, I like it to wing it out, so I'm going to draw one thin line out here. Just a thin line out there. Then connect it to my line. Can you say that? So that is how I draw my wing. But for beginner, I don't think you need it. So that is how I draw my wing line. But for beginner, you can just end it at where your lashes end and you're good to go. This is just a simple eye look. You can start as a beginner. From here, you can start to build it up and build it up. And one thing is that you need to practice and practice and practice. Then you are going to be perfect. But when you don't make any effort of practicing, that is where you will find yourself wanting. So one thing about makeup application is just keep on learning and learning and learning, and you will be okay with that. After drawing your wing line or your line, let's come to the down. We have pencil for that, but I'm going to use this. This is a carrot gel liner. This is where your waterline comes in. You can use any color on your waterline if you like. So for me, I'm going to line my waterline. I make sure that I bring it down like this to avoid tearing up. Okay, when doing this, I'm very careful about it. So if you're someone you don't like it, you can leave it like that. So can you see how different it looks on my eye? Look at this eye and look at this eye. So one thing about also winging out your eyelid is it gives some kind of lift to your eye. So that is it. So let me finish with the look and come back and show you how everything looks like. So you finish with your eye, you need to use your mascara to volume it up, or you can leave it like this, or you can fix your lashes. It all depends on you. But for me, I'll be going on with false lashes. This is that's how simple it is. Let me wrap this thing up and come back, and you are going to see how simple the look turned out. So guys, welcome back. So to finish the eye look, I'm going to use the brush, the precise brush I used in my crease region earlier on. I'm going to use color over here or eyeshadow here just to smoke my lower lash line. Remember what I showed you as a lower lash line. So here is it. Here we go. But I'm not going to bring it in. It's just going to end here. Okay, can you see that? And doing the same thing to the other eye. The reason why I'm not going to send it in is that I have a small eye, so if I bring it inside my tear dot area, it's going to make my eye to look very very small, and I don't want that. I don't want that. So to also blend out that dark color, or to have a transition around that area, I'm going in with this orange color here, just a little, to just run it under the eye here like this, just to give it some kind of can you see that? So here is it. We can go ahead to brighten the inner column by using a bright column, but guys, I don't think it's needed. Okay, so we're going to leave it like this. So to give that volume to my lash line, I'm going in with my Kiss Beauty mascara on my lower lashes. Okay, and when doing this, you have to be very careful. So here's it. Yeah, I'll be right back. So guys, this is the finished look of the eye makeup, and just a simple eye look. I hope you have learned one or two things out of this. What do you think about this look? Tell me. I'll also be uploading how I achieved this look on my page, so you can go and check it out. And yeah, so yeah, you can check it out.